Hello, my beautiful and talented people. Thank you to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. It all matters. I'm deeply appreciative. Today, it's 2:22 as I start filming, so the timing's beautiful. So today we're asking, how do other people see you? We've got pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. I'm still doing a giveaway. At 9,000 subscribers, I will give away 2 free readings. So just make sure that you are subscribed and you comment and you are in the running for that. So my gorgeous angels, it's time for pile number 1. Also, if you want to book with me, my email's in the description right below the timestamps. My gorgeous pile number 1s. How do others see you? How do others see you? How do others see you? Ooh. Interesting. So we have some very interesting cards that came up. We had the 8 of Cups, which is walking away from things that don't fulfill you. We have the 7 of Swords, which is about, sneaky behavior. We have the 3 of Swords, which is about heartbreak. Now, while some of this could imply that you're avoidant in some ways, I think for the most part that this is not what it's saying. I feel like with the 8 of, I feel like people can see you going through something. And they potentially see you maybe walking away from a situation that is unfair. A situation in which somebody has not acted with honor. And I think that people, for a lot of you, it has to do with a relationship. Or it could be walking away from some kind of societal expectation. But like, whatever this 7 of Swords situation did, it created at least what people view as heartache for you. We have the Sun and the Ace of Pentacles. With the Sun, I get that you have very warm energy, especially since I'm literally feeling warmer with the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like there are people who are deeply rooting for you that want you to have a new, steady, stable relation, whatever it is, whatever this connection was, because it's not 100% relationships. For a lot of you, it may be a relationship. But others of you, it might have just been an expectation of you. I think that people, but there's this, I feel like you have people who are pulling for you to have something that's steady, something that's dependable, because you give off this beautiful, warm energy. 8 of Pentacles and the Key. 8 of Pentacles is a lot of energy and effort put in. It's also the energy and effort needed to build something bigger for yourself. And we have the Key. Some of you, maybe this lack of trustworthiness happened regarding an occupation, because we have that 8 of Pentacles. But again, I feel like people see you going through something. They see something We've got the Nine of Swords and the Anchor. So the key is about something being key. We have even a figure behind that key with a lock in the heart. And we have the Anchor, which is creating stability yet again. People may see a lot of nervousness and fear from you, maybe because something has caused you heartbreak. And it is understandable to have fear after heartbreak. We've got the Eight of Swords and the Gazebo. And it's very funny that the Gazebo came out, because it is how we are viewed societally. It is how other people view us. And this is like something traditional. And we have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is being stuck in a place that once you realize that you're not truly stuck, you just won't be stuck. I think that people do have, you know, like you bring off this warm energy. I feel like you bring people a lot of joy. Again, some people you may be walking away from, but I don't think that you're walking away from everyone. I just feel like there's, you know, you may be walking away from, you know, people who are very unfulfilling to you, who are, you know, dishonest and that cause you heartbreak. So ultimately, that's the good kind of walking away. But I feel like between this and this, people want you to have a lot more stability. Wheel of Fortune. Again, Wheel of Fortune, I think that people see things turning out better for you. Again, like you have some people who are totally on your side, who are like wanting just, you know, things to turn around in your favor, can see that happening, can see, you know, like, because your energy doesn't match this, you know, dishonesty. We've got the Six of Cups. You have some true friends, some people who just want really good things for you. King of Swords. I'll get some clarity on that. And the Six of Pentacles. Yeah. You have some true friends, like that, you know, are all about you, like are all about you getting abundance between this and this. And I think that they're fiercely on your side regarding you getting equal and balanced love, that you getting, you receiving, you know, abundance for the abundance you create. You've got people on your side. Now we have the King of Swords and the Nine of Swords. King of Swords is somebody that sets boundaries. We also have, I think that this was also the Nine of Swords. There's also the Nine of Swords here. And we had the Eight of Swords back there. There are people that, you know, love you, want good things for you, but do see you become overwhelmed by anxiety or fear. Again, it's fully understandable to emotionally, like if you've dealt with really bad behavior from somebody, that can often make people feel very stuck because it doesn't even compute. Like we want to understand why. And sometimes it really, truly has nothing to do with who we are and everything to do with how they are. So I've got the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. I've got, like, people see you with a lot of nervousness, a lot of anxiety, you know. And they want you to be clear-headed. They want you to have very strong boundaries regarding what you will and you won't accept. Because the King of Swords, also a king of boundaries. But they want you to use your head, and there are some things to indicate that whatever this was might be messing with your head right now. But you've got some people who love you, and it's not necessarily a romantic love. It can definitely be platonic. And there is the, you know, people want you to have what you put in. People see things moving in your favor, especially as you move away from things that aren't fulfilling you. Yeah. You may have fear and you may have anxiety, but you are surrounded by people who love you. And they're all about helping you on your journey forward, away from drama. Knight of Swords. And they want you to take action regarding something that makes sense logically. Because they see this potential abundance for you, and they want you to go after that. Yeah, bridging the gap. I will tell you this, even if you have definitely had some dishonest people in your life, like, you have people who are truly, truly about you, that love you like you love them, that are, you know, that will be supportive to you, and they want you to succeed. They want you to overcome, and I feel like they feel like if you overcome your anxieties and fears, that you're going to be able to bridge gaps that maybe you weren't able to before, and that it's going to lead to a better future for you. So maybe people are thinking about your business, but for the most part, it's coming from a caring way. True offering. True offering takes what can be an unbearable cross and returns it to love. So people recognize that you're going through something, and then you're going through something painful, but it's like they want to turn it into love for you, because, like I said, people love you. And they want self-love. They want you to have the same love and care that they... I don't know how many people this is, but you got somebody in your corner. Somebody in your corner who is really, you know, just wants you to love you as much as they love you. Baby, reconnect with your innocence. So... self-love, reconnecting with your innocence, trading out really difficult and painful things for better things. Light, eons. Again, you came off as like the sun, Like, you have this warm, loving, really beautiful energy that people want to be around. I will tell you right now, it's the energy that everybody wants to be around. But there's a need for you to move towards a light. Even if it's just by moving away from the darkness. Old ways won't open new doors. Yeah. There are definitely some people in your life who want you to change. But they want you to change not because they don't like who you are, but because they see something in your pattern that isn't going to necessarily make things better for you. So, and I feel like it's all about, yeah, you've got some people in your life who just want you to love you as much as they love you. And if you haven't been acting in a fully loving way towards yourself, which especially if you're dealing with somebody who's really dishonest, sometimes that happens, you know, like people want you to go through the next door to, you know, because I feel like people see a lot of good in you and they want good for you and they want you to leave behind the unbearable so that you can return to love and return to innocence and be in the light and do something different. Again, it's really coming from a place of love. Obviously, you know, change is always difficult. Even positive change. We've got rebirth. We've got the cat, and sometimes the cat shows up regarding being selective about who you let close to you. Because the dog loves everybody, but the cat you have to bond with. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the dog or the puppy. Beautiful way of being, an amazing light. But I think that there is some level of selectivity. I think that people see you as being very valuable. And for the most part, I think that they just want you to see yourself as valuable as they see you and be taking actions regarding, you know, you being worthy, you being lovable, you know, moving forward in light and in joy and not limiting yourselves because somebody limited you at some point. So I hope that this helped you. I deeply appreciate you and I wish you this joy and new beginning, just like some people who deeply care about you in your life. I hope that this helped. If you want to book with me, my email is in the description right below the timestamps. If you want to be part of the 9,000 subscriber giveaway, just make sure you're subscribed and you comment and you are in the running for that. I will give 2 as soon as I hit 9,000 subscribers. And thank you for everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. It all matters. And I deeply appreciate you doing that for me. So, my gorgeous angels, pile number 2. How are they feeling about you right now? Oops, this is the wrong one. How do others see you? How do others see you, my gorgeous darling? How do others see pile number 2? King of Pentacles, the Devil, Strength, Death. Well, you cause a lot of very strong feelings in other people. You have 4 cards, 3 major arcanas, and 1 royalty. So the King of Pentacles is about being abundant, hardworking, being somebody that is dependable. We do, however, have the Devil. Now, the Devil is a lot of sexual attraction, but, and there's even a little bit of fire in the background, but it's almost like an energy of maybe not being completely safe. So I feel like you have a kind of a dichotomy going on as somebody that's very dependable, but somebody that's also life-changing and intense and strong. So it's like you're dependable, but you, and this is like a very strong sexual attraction card. This is a very strong sexual attraction card. With the Death card, it's like death is transition, change, but really I feel like people's life are just different when you're in it. When you're in somebody's life, you're a transformative experience. You're somebody that's also very powerful. Why? I'm going to get a little bit more clarity on the Devil, because the Devil is not necessarily super healthy, but I'm not necessarily getting that you're unhealthy. But it's almost like you're really intense and you may seem a little dangerous. We got the Ace of Wands. Again, talking about physical attraction cards. You are very attractive. And almost frightening in that way. We've got the Death card. Some of you might have a more gothic appearance. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It really is transformative, but we've got the Devil, we've got, Death, and we've got the 7 of Cups. Now, the 7 of Cups is illusion, or it's a lot of options. Now, sometimes there's a lack of clarity about which option you can take, but I feel like when you have a lot of options, you have a lot of options. How do others see you? Strength and the Jack of Wands. Again, you are you're more sexy than average. You bring a lot of that energy, and a lot of that energy gets brought to you. And it probably leaves you in a position where you have to really think about who you're letting your space. We've got the King of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is fears, anxieties, sleepless nights, and we have, creating. We have somebody in their workshop. Some of you are artistic, which usually has more cups in it, but I'm getting just so much fire. So much inspiration. But why is... It's like there's anxieties and fears about... Is it other people's anxieties and fears? I feel like this is talking about your anxieties and fears. And there is something regarding being really stable. Again, sometimes people come to you with unstable energy, so that might very well lead you to be very concerned with what is stable. How do others see you? Pile number 2. 10 of Wands, Knight of Swords, 4 of Cups, 2 of Cups. Ten of Wands. Do people feel like you're a burden, feel like you're carrying heavy burdens? I feel like there are definitely some people... I don't think that you... Because this is like an ending, it's a lot to carry, and I feel like you're somebody that's capable of carrying a lot, but I feel like with the 10 of Wands, either you're just really willing to let go of people in situations that don't serve you, which again may make you seem a little bit dangerous, because this could be like you could come off as very selective. Since you have a lot of options, I think that it makes sense that you would be selective. We've got the 2 of Cups. I feel like there's definitely some kind of fear that you would be rejecting towards people. And again, I feel like you get a lot of physical attraction. And I feel like, you know, people feel somewhat like almost transformed by it, like, and want a relationship. Other people are really concerned that maybe you're too strong, too powerful. You know, like you're a lot in the absolute best way possible. But I think that, and I feel like sometimes people are burdened regarding you. I think that a lot of people are really into you, and a lot of people are kind of intimidated by you. And I don't think that it's because you're being, anything other than who you are, which just happens to be really attractive. We've got the Page of Wands. So I feel like people are very enthusiastic about you. This 4 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. I feel like sometimes people want to offer you gifts. People want to offer you something really solid. Again, you just seem like you have a lot of options and people want a chance. Tower. Now the Tower could be unstable, but that's also not what I'm getting. Like with the Death, the Devil, the Tower, you're a life-changing person in a lot of people's lives. And I think that if they have not set things up to be very solid in their lives, you end up being somewhat of a revelation. Again, this is very intense for people, and it's not because, you're not doing the work you need to do. It's not because you're not setting up what needs to be set up. I feel like you're doing exactly that. And I feel like there's some fear that people have that maybe they can't live up to you. Or, maybe, they're having to see their foundations in a different way. And again, if people aren't being somebody that's healthy for you, like, you'll move away from the drama. I'm just getting, with the 9 of Pentacles, I'm getting very secure. And I think that that's, like, you bring a lot of real value to the table. I think that you may bring a lot of, personal security in yourself. Yeah. When people meet you, it's just different. And you're obviously somebody who deserves something real, which everybody does. But, like, it's just obvious. We've got be weighed down by nothing. Let the lightness be of life be your motto. I can speak and I can read on most occasions, but yeah. You're willing to release things and move on and choose your own security, and you're very attractive, very intimidating. How do others see you? Sacrifice. Sometimes surrender is painful. God's cutting away at all that needs to go. Illusions, obsessions, addictions. It's a sacrifice to love. I feel like there's a lot of people who feel very intensely towards you. And partially, like, we've got illusions, obsessions, addictions, and I feel like when people deal with you, they have to look closely at those things. Some people will be relatively obsessive regarding you. And again, there is a distinctive difference between obsession and love. Because obsession really isn't considering the other person. I'm not necessarily getting you're obsessive. It's possible that you've dealt with that in the past, but I think that this is why you tend to be so transformative for people. Because you bring up the things that need to be brought up. You bring up, whether you're trying to or not, people feel that with you. And we also have pleasure. Again, you are very attractive. Very attractive. People do, pursue some pleasure regarding you. Maybe that's, again, why you're all about creating some kind of stability. Key, Seek no further. Your aha moment is at hand, and that is very apropos to the Tower. You wake people up. To whatever they need to wake up regarding, you wake them up. And it may sound good, but I'm sure it's exhausting, you know, being this person that wakes up other people. We've got the mask, the no face. So, do you wear a mask? I feel like there are definitely some people, because you do intimidate them. There are some people who wear a mask regarding you. And just because you may have a lot of energy thrown your way, like it might be, you know, it might be hard to make yourself vulnerable to that. You are somebody that offers a secure and steady connection. I feel like maybe people, you know, come in for all this desire and then find that, you know, like that you're somebody that really puts in a lot of effort and energy. But there's this secure connection. There's this steady, stalwart person. You seem to be, and you may be something different than what people expected you to be at the beginning. Something different than what I feel like it's not that you're, you know, less than what they thought. It's just like you're so much more than what. So you're definitely come off as one of a kind and special. And it looks like you've spent a lot of time building yourself up, gaining wisdom, and taking steps forward. We have the gear, and the gear is attached. I feel like a lot of people feel very attached to you. But again, some people feel attached to you to the level of obsession. So that, you know, that's no longer any fun. So I think that I need to get a little bit more clarification regarding the mask, the moon, and the Eight of Cups. So Eight of Cups is walking away from what is unfulfilling, but we've got the moon and we've got the mask. I feel like you probably affect more people than you think you do, because there are people who are not necessarily showing you, because this is illusion and fear and things going on below the surface. This is the surface, and those don't always match. People also might find you very mysterious. And I think that it's interesting because at the same time, you're just building up stability for yourself, building up what you need to do, being very practical. But I think that there's a sense of mystery to you. There's not everybody gets to know you. And some people aren't very clear about what they feel is a connection towards you. Anything else? Anything else? Appreciation. Queen of Swords and the bouquet, which is about appreciation. Either you may very well just demand appreciation, but it's not necessarily by saying, you must appreciate me, so much as people don't get to be in your life if they don't. But you also have a lot of people who maybe want, again, like maybe want to give you gifts, maybe want to literally give you flowers, because you come in like a wrecking ball. Whether that's your intent or not, it's simply how you affect other people. And again, that doesn't mean that somebody, you know, fixating on you is right or your fault. It's not. Because everybody's actions are up to them. But you definitely inspire a lot of fantasy. You definitely inspire a lot of desire. And I feel like, to some extent, you're just building your life the best way you can. And some of this is energy people put on you, and it's not necessarily you. It's just how, it's just because they get their aha moments regarding you. So I hope that this helped you. I deeply appreciate you. If you do want a free reading, I'm going to give away 2 as soon as I hit 9,000 subscribers. So be subscribed and comment, and you are in the running for that. If you want to book with me, my email's in the description right below the timestamps. And thank you to everybody who's liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. It all matters, and I deeply appreciate it. My gorgeous darlings, pile number 3. Graceful as always. So pile number 3, my angels. How do others see you? Queen of Wands. Fiery, attractive. We've got the 9 of Pentacles. So somebody that is very personally secure. Knight of Pentacles. I think between the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles, you seem to like be inspired. You seem to have a plan. You seem to take action on that plan. You seem to be creating abundance for yourself. Ooh, 2 of Swords. Do you seem mentally unclear? I feel like there may be somebody that has a lack of mental clarity regarding you, especially regarding you moving forward towards some sort of prosperity, which is interesting because we have that Knight of Pentacles twice. Now, it looks like you have a plan. It looks like you have a good plan. I just feel like there's somebody that has some real conflict in their headspace. This is not necessarily about what you're doing, because it looks like what you're doing is creating abundance and being very independent. It could be that maybe this person has a fear of the independence that is there. Somebody might be afraid that your independence mean that you are walking away. And we have the Queen of Swords. So with the Queen of Swords, I think that you're moving forward. Again, if somebody's not keeping yeah, I think that you do have maybe some people in your life that may be concerned that you're going to leave them behind. But I think that it's more about them than what you're actually doing. I feel like you're just going after your success. You're using your head and setting boundaries. You're, so I think that unclear people, yeah. Do people see you as dishonest? I think that you should be aware that, you know, there might be somebody in your life that is perhaps afraid of being left behind, and they could sabotage you. Like they don't, you know, they don't want to, like, they're not thinking about you. They're thinking about their fears. They're thinking about maybe being abandoned. Versus you're thinking about your success. You're thinking about your stability. And maybe it's because it's not necessarily about this person that you're going off and fulfilling your dreams. But I think that you do need to be concerned about a specific person in your life that may be trying to keep you from going forward because they're afraid that you won't be in their life if you do. It's not something where anybody wins, but it's, yeah, Sword of Truth. So we have a person who makes very strong boundaries, and the truth interspersed with somebody who's just doing whatever it takes to win. So you may be somebody that's very honest, or there may be a need for you to let yourself have an honest, clean, clear new beginning. Because even if this person does love you, they're acting in a way that's sabotaging towards you. This is about, you know, this is not about what's good for you. It's not even about what's good for this person. And it doesn't lead to anything good. Clarity on the Five of Swords. Peace. And the King of Swords to the Queen of Swords. So we do have a matched pair. This could be somebody that you are in a relationship with. Or maybe there's a need for you to choose peace so that you can choose a relationship in which there is clarity, honesty, and a meeting of the minds. And not somebody taking out their lack of clarity on you. Now this was we have the Queen of Swords. Now we just pulled out the Queen and the King of Swords together, and appreciation. So we have peace and appreciation. We have Eight of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So there's there's a very, either you have made a strong boundary, or it's likely that you at some point are going to make a very strong boundary regarding this, because it is appreciation. Again, like peace, appreciation, and that being not optional. and walking away from what doesn't fulfill you. So you truly might have somebody that's creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. They're so afraid of losing you that they're creating the conditions in which to lose you, because they're not being fair and they're not being clear. And eventually, swords. Clarity is going to matter. Whether things are, acceptable behavior or not, are going to matter. How do others see you? And I will say, maybe people just see you as very fair. But it doesn't mean that everybody in your life is being fair to you. So Ace of Wands, a new beginning in passion. So we have passion. We have truth. Yeah. And there is there is something about getting peace regarding somebody who's, not necessarily looking out for your best interest. Because there's that, because it leads to a lack of mental clarity. Like this person's lack of clarity leads to fights, leads to no-win situations, and then you're left being unclear. Knight of Cups, there's a need to emotionally move forward. Heal. And see things in a different way than you have seen them before. Because once you do, you're going to have a very enlightening moment. And there is going to be an ending, but it is going to lead to you moving forward emotionally. I'm getting a lot of you being a passionate person and you being a very cerebral person. And I have a person or a situation that is creating the conditions in which you are going to have to walk away. Well, you don't have to walk away. Nobody has to do anything. But at some point, you're going to get an awakening regarding this. You're going to see things in a different light because you are a very mental person. And that is going to lead to healing, and it is going to lead to new beginnings, and it is going to lead to you moving forward at an emotional level. How do others see you? Your path. Dear Lord, help me trust that there is a plan far beyond what I can see through my fears and illusions. Again, the Ace of Swords, like, there is going to be a potentially very clear path for you. It's going to happen through some kind of new beginning. And it's going to happen through maybe facing some sort of difficult truth. Transformation. Being on your path. Being transformed. Either you are changing some kind of path. Resurrection. Like, this could even be a death card. Death, resurrection, your path. So there may be a significant change of path coming your way. Newt is the starry sky. Face and embrace all parts of yourself. And we have physical intimacy, kiss, hug. So, I feel like you may be going through some transformation in which you truly embrace yourself more. where you are letting things transition, change, and maybe truly embracing yourself, and maybe even evaluating, you know, situations that aren't fair to you. Whether you're putting your energy on that. A little bit more for her. Yeah, bridge, 6 of Wands. There's some kind of transitioning happening, some type of, it's going to lead to win. It's going to lead to victory, but it's going to be seeing something differently and moving a practical plan forward, and being the passionate and cerebral person that you are, and it's going to come from a place of self-worth. So I think, you know, I think that you're a very powerful person. But, you know, I think that you're going to find out a lot more about the situations that aren't serving you, and the people who are taking out their lack of clarity on you. And don't get lost from your path because somebody else isn't clear. Yeah, I feel like that's part of the issue. Don't get lost from your path just because somebody else isn't clear. Because, again, we had the King and Queen of Swords come out. So, like, if somebody's not clear, there's somebody that's really is going to be clear, that is really going to be a match on your intellectual level, that will offer you that kind of resonance. So I hope that this helped you. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit 9,000 subscribers. Just make sure that you are subscribed and comment and you're in the running for that. I deeply appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And it's time for my gorgeous pile number 4s. My gorgeous angels. How do others see you? How do others see you? 8 of Pentacles. The Lovers. 2 of Swords. Ooh, we got 2 choice cards here. And the 7 of Wands. So you come off as somebody that is hardworking, somebody that puts energy and effort into things in order to grow something. We've got the Lovers, so I feel like people tend to feel strongly about you. People may feel like a lot of emotions, like they feel a lot of connection to you. You might have some very strong no-go boundaries. And I feel like people feel both very emotionally close and mentally confused. We have Wands, we have Swords, we have Pentacles, and we have the Lovers, which isn't technically cups, but very cup-like. So I feel like you're very balanced in a lot of different ways. And because the wands, like, I think that you might have a lot of passion that does move in your direction, and I think that you do put some limits on that, which is not necessarily bad. Like I said, you seem to be very, very balanced. Like, you working for things to pay off, but you're also somebody who will work on a relationship. And I feel like, I don't think that you come off as mentally confused, but I think that you confuse people. Clarity on that Two of Swords. The Four of Cups. You may be very selective about the partners that you pick, or the confusion that they feel about you sometimes makes people miss out on the opportunity of you. Because their confusion has them so focused on what doesn't matter that, you know, they get lost. Yeah, Page of Wands. You may have some very, it doesn't mean that you're young, but you may have some very young, a very optimistic energy, while at the same time, like, having some hard boundaries. So I feel like maybe that's one of the reasons why you might confuse people, because you come off as optimistic and maybe even naive, but there becomes a very hard stop on things when it's not okay. So I feel like it's not what they expect from you, not when they first meet you. Ooh, we've got the Lovers and the Moon and the Wheel of Fortune. So you bring up a lot of emotions for people. There are probably more than one person in your life that just felt like you were absolutely meant to be on their path in their life. Some of them might even have rejected you, because, you know, they weren't mentally clear, and they, you know, didn't really maybe get it at the time, or, like, you know, maybe they were afraid of giving or receiving love. But yeah, you bring up emotions of love. You bring up emotions of, like, good luck, good fortune, fate. You bring up emotions of everything that somebody isn't dealing with regarding themselves, and, you know, having to face those fears all at once. And you seem to be somebody that is pretty satisfied with the human being that you are. Maybe creating a lot of happiness for yourself, or, like, and I feel like there is a reason why the confusion, because they'll be confused and dealing with, you know, their deepest fears, where you're here, you know, being pretty satisfied with who you are, and bringing abundance into your life. And all these fears, you know, people focus on that and then miss out on opportunities regarding you. The Hanged Man. Now, the Hanged Man is an enlightenment card. It's a creative thinking card. I do think that you're a creative thinker, and I do think that sometimes people get just stuck regarding you. They just do, because it's like they don't know. They don't know whether to like, you know, follow you, or whether they, you know, or whether you're their worst fear, or, yeah, there's so many major arcanas. Like, you bring up some things in people. Yeah. And you've probably, like, people may tend to fall in love with you. We've got the Four of Swords. And again, you may be very selective. Again, I think that you're a creative thinker, and I think people just get stuck. They don't know what to do. They, you know. We've got the Queen of Swords. For some of you, like, there may be some rejection that happens because people have been hurt in the past and they face their fears and they just can't handle it. But for others of you, like, your initial energy presents differently from what they actually come to know you as. Because you may come off as like a very like youthful ray of sunshine. And it's not that that is inauthentic to who you are, but because you're also somebody, again, who sets very, very strong boundaries. You're somebody that works really well together with other people. You're a collaborator. You may be creative. You put in a lot of energy and effort. And I feel like you like cooperation. I feel like if somebody's going to come at you with all this passion, they have to be willing to build something with you. And sometimes you face people with that, you know, you got your boundaries up because some people want to come in and out and try to outsmart you. I feel like most of the time when people try to outsmart you, they find themselves being outsmarted, because we have the Queen of Swords. I don't think it's like, because sometimes, you know, we can have the Seven of Wands and the Nine of Wands, and it can be like an impenetrable barrier, but I don't think that that's the case. I think that you're somebody that's very inviting, very loving, you know, you bring up a lot of things. But I feel like sometimes people try to maybe run the same game that they've tried before and then just find that there's no space for them there. Like you seem to really not be about inconsistency. And again, you bring up a lot of, you bring up a lot of love. You make people think about new beginnings. Yeah, you're even somebody who's loving, and it's not like you won't put in work. It's just nobody just gets to come in and you know, I feel like sometimes you have people who come in and they try to play you. Again, for the most part, you actually bring in a lot of, like, people feel like they love you. So whether they know you or not, like, I feel like you have that intensity. We've got the Ten of Swords and the Ship. If somebody betrays you, you move forward. And again, I think that for some people, that's confusing to them. But it's also super logical. we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Path. So you've definitely both crossed paths and separated paths from people who probably still think about you in a loving way. Whether, you know, whether they did it in, whether they showed it in their actions, that's a different story. And we have the Eight of Pentacles being the key. It's absolute, like, you're pretty satisfied with yourself. Not in a, you know, I'm perfect kind of way, but in a, I'm good enough kind of way. And with the Eight of Pentacles coming out twice, like, people, it's key that people put in the time, energy, and effort. And if they don't, no matter how intense their feelings are, there just really isn't much of a place for them. How do others see you? Purse, wallet, pursue your true wealth. So, like, people may feel like they, you know, you're some kind of wealth. Also, people can see you probably pursuing your own abundance. You know, being pretty secure in who you are as a person. Family, explore your sacred root system. I think that you are somebody that's also family oriented. You may care a lot about your roots. You may just care a lot about your family. Like, you're somebody who's very family oriented. You may be somebody that's somewhat elusive for people. You may be somebody who may spend a lot of time by yourself, learning about yourself, being very introspective. Courage. Let me be open to courageously take the steps that are shown. Yeah, you're not a coward. You're brave. If somebody's doesn't, you know, fill your cups, you know, like, you do what you need. You do what's needed to do. You're going after your abundance. You're supporting your family. You're being brave, and you're really deeply about self-knowledge. Blooming with the goddess Erikura, which I'm probably saying wrong because I do not know the pronunciations. So you're just blooming and blossoming for everyone to see. I've also got kind of a starry crown. So there could be a lot, you know, going on in your headspace, or even a lot of connection with the spiritual. Try something new today. A wine, a new class, a new food. Just do it. I don't think that you're afraid of new experiences. I mean, I think you're more afraid of old experiences. Like, we're not doing that again. You know, like, and I don't think it's that you need every last moment of your life to be different. I think that it's, you know, the reason why you may have some very, very hard boundaries is because, you know, you had to be courageous. You had to, like, you know, yeah, I think that you're a very, very brave person. Family, courage. A lot of you might have done a lot for your family. And you're a very admirable person. I think that occasionally people think that you're more naive than you are. Because I think that you do have this, you know, very sunny, almost innocent presentation. And I don't think that you're not innocent. I just think that, you know, like, you're about hard work. You're about building something. People can do that or don't do that. We've got Athena, goddess of wisdom. You're very wise. We have the leaf, turning a new leaf. Again, you're courageous. You're willing to do new experiences. So you probably change more than the average person does. Because you're all about self-knowledge. And people do feel these intense feelings for you. You give people feelings. And we have secure connections. So I feel like you're somebody that, you know, are capable of having secure connections. I think that you don't really allow people to continue to be in your space if they don't securely connect with you, if they're not building something with you. For a lot of you, you may spend a fair amount of time alone. You might not always be looking for some kind of relationship. It doesn't mean that you don't want a relationship. It simply means that, you know, you're learning everything that you can about who you deeply are and being courageous. And like, people, I feel like other people need to not just offer you love, but also secure connection, also a future that you're building together. And we have 6, which is again the number of love. So you give people feelings. People have feelings for you. You are somebody that's very wise. You're somebody that, you know, some people actually just get confused regarding, because they have to deal with their fears. They have to, you know, like, because you seem to be meant to be. Like, maybe you're not, you know, like, maybe you're here to potentially, you know, maybe you have a lot of soul contracts. Not every meant to be situation is necessarily romantic, and not every meant to be situation is necessarily forever. It is simply somebody that resonates so strongly, and the right person at the right time, giving you the right information. So you come off as wise. You also might come off as very satisfied with yourself. You might be, and again, like, with satisfied with yourself, I don't think it's not that you're coming off as cocky. It's just that you're good. And people need to build with you, or they cannot build with you. Some people reject you just because, like, there's just so much feeling, and they don't know what to do with it. Which obviously isn't anything you do. It's not your problem. So I hope that this helped you. Also, this is an amethyst. So I feel like this pile has a lot of pretty spiritually enlightened people in it. It doesn't mean that the other piles are not spiritually enlightened, but you give off that energy. People can feel it off of you. So I hope that this helped. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit 9,000 subscribers. So be subscribed and comment, and you're in the running for that. I will give away 2 as soon as I reach that. And if you want to book with me, my email is in the description right below the timestamps. Thank you so much. I deeply appreciate you.